The tension that has been simmering throughout the episode finally erupts in a memorable home confrontation that stands as one of the finest examples of domestic comedy drama in 1970s television. Miss Loring arrives at the Romano Cooper apartment unannounced, bringing with her the full weight of her poetic misinterpretations and professional concern. What follows is a masterfully orchestrated collision of worlds. The counselor's earnest psychological analysis meets the raw reality of a single mother's daily struggles and the chaotic affection of a close-knit but imperfect family. This sequence, centered around the devastating poem The Fascist in Pantyhose, delivers both explosive laughs and genuine emotional depth, showcasing the writer's exceptional ability to blend humor with heartfelt exploration of maternal pain, generational misunderstanding, and the vulnerabilities inherent in single parenthood during a transformative era in American society. The scene opens with Anne Romano returning home exhausted from a particularly brutal workday. She has spilled coffee during a presentation, faced criticism from colleagues, cancelled an important date, and discovered a run in her new pantyhose. Her frustration is palpable, rendered with the weary authenticity that made Bonnie Franklin's portrayal of Anne such a groundbreaking depiction of the single working mother. Into this already strained atmosphere steps Miss Loring, whose timing could not be more awkward. The counselor's polite but insistent demeanor immediately signals that the deception is about to unravel. Anne, ever the gracious hostess, despite her fatigue, invites her in only to be confronted with revelations about her daughter's supposed artistic genius and deep-seated resentment. The heart of this sequence lies in Miss Loring's request for Barbara to read her poetry aloud. Barbara's reluctance is evident, and she attempts to deflect by suggesting Julie read instead. The ensuing back and forth highlights the sisters' dynamic beautifully. Julie's quick wit and Barbara's mounting panic create a comedic rhythm that underscores their loyalty even as circumstances turn against them. When Barbara is finally compelled to recite the lines about, "My mother smiles, but all I see are the savage teeth of the tigress, devouring her young," the room freezes. Anne's reaction is a mixture of shock, hurt, and disbelief. The poem's imagery, originally written by Julie during an earlier rebellious phase involving Chuck, strikes at the core of Anne's identity as a mother who has sacrificed immensely to raise her daughters alone after divorce. The fascist in pantyhose line lands like a comedic bomb. Miss Loring interprets it with solemn gravity, seeing it as evidence of Barbara's profound frustrations with her mother's perceived authoritarianism. For Anne, however, it represents a devastating personal attack. The script excels here in its scene-by-scene escalation. Anne's initial confusion gives way to righteous indignation. As more lines are revealed, the mother figure swollen with self-righteousness. Blind to her own faults, but Argus-eyed when seeing mine. These verses, meant as teenage venting from a previous year, are now weaponized by misunderstanding. The 1970s context is crucial. This was an era when divorce was becoming more common, yet single mothers still faced intense societal scrutiny. Anne's character embodies the resilience of women, navigating new freedoms while carrying traditional expectations of perfect motherhood. The poem forces her to confront how her strength and high standards might be perceived as oppressive by her own children. What makes this confrontation so effective is its emotional honesty beneath the humor. Anne demands explanations, and the truth slowly emerges. Barbara confesses the plagiarism, admitting she borrowed Julie's old poems because she feared failing and disappointing her mother. Julie supports her sister, explaining the context of the poems and the timing of their original composition during family tensions. The revelation that nothing happened in Toledo and that Anne is not pregnant adds another layer of farce to the already chaotic scene. Barbara's desperate lie about the pregnancy intended to deter Miss Loring's home visit unravels with hilarious awkwardness. Miss Loring's wide-eyed reactions and professional concern provide perfect counterpoint to the family's frantic attempts to clarify the situation. The dialogue in this part is pure 1970s sitcom gold. Rapid overlapping exchanges capture the authentic chaos of family arguments while allowing space for character revelation. Anne's fury is tempered by her underlying love and concern. Her line questioning when she became pregnant and her disappointment in Barbara's cheating reflect the high moral standards she holds for her daughters. Yet even in anger, she shows remarkable restraint and insight. The script avoids painting her as overly harsh, instead portraying her pain as the natural response of a mother who has worked tirelessly to provide stability. Schneider's earlier advice about not winning them all echoes poignantly here, as Anne grapples with the reality that her daughters have hidden struggles from her. Character insights deepen significantly in this explosive sequence. Anne Romano emerges as a fully realized figure of strength and vulnerability. Her exhaustion from balancing career and motherhood combined with the sting of the poems humanizes her in profound ways. She represents countless single mothers of the 1970s who were pioneering new paths while fearing they were failing their children. Barbara's guilt is raw and relatable. Her decision to plagiarize, born of love and fear, now causes her immense remorse. Julie's protective role as the older sister who inadvertently contributed to the crisis adds nuance to her character, showing her growth from past rebellion to supportive sibling. Miss Loring, though comically misguided, is never reduced to caricature. Her sincere belief in Barbara's talent and her concern for the family's emotional health reflect the era's growing emphasis on mental health support in schools. Thematically, this confrontation explores the pain of being misread by those outside the family unit. The fascist in pantyhose becomes a powerful symbol of how parental authority, especially in single-mother households, could be misinterpreted as tyranny by teenagers navigating their own identities. The episode gently satirizes both the overzealous application of pop psychology and the communication gaps that often widen during adolescence. In 1970s America, as divorce rates rose and traditional family structures evolved, such stories resonated deeply with audiences experiencing similar transitions. The writers celebrate Anne's resilience while acknowledging the emotional labor she performs daily. Humor remains sharp and well-timed even amid the drama. Miss Loring's repeated assurances that she will be very delicate with Anne, contrasted with her blunt psychoanalytic readings, generate consistent laughs. The pregnancy misunderstanding reaches its peak when Miss Loring expresses concern about Anne losing the baby, prompting Julie's memorable interjections and the eventual full confession. Schneider's presence in the broader episode provides comic framing. But here the family stands alone to navigate the crisis, emphasizing their bond. As the confrontation resolves, Miss Loring acknowledges the truth but upholds the academic consequence. Barbara has failed the course. The counselor suggests summer school as a way to make it up, a practical solution that reflects the show's grounded approach to problems. Anne, though furious and disappointed, ultimately supports her daughter while reinforcing the importance of honesty. The scene closes with a mixture of relief, lingering hurt and tentative reconciliation. Barbara's sincere apology and the family's acknowledgement that they all must learn the hard way provide emotional catharsis without cheap resolution. This part of the episode exemplifies the brilliance of One Day at a Time in handling serious themes through comedy. The explosive family confrontation does not merely advance the plot, it deepens our understanding of each character's inner world. Maternal pain is treated with respect and nuance, never overshadowed by the laughs. The writer's appreciation for 1970s social realities shines through in their portrayal of a single mother's complex position, strong yet human. Authoritative, yet loving, constantly balancing discipline with compassion. The fascist in pantyhose sequence remains one of the episode's most quoted and remembered moments, a testament to its perfect blend of sharp dialogue, impeccable timing, and emotional truth. It propels the story forward while enriching the ongoing narrative arc of the Romano family's growth. As the dust settles on this domestic battlefield, the audience is left with a profound appreciation for the messy, loving reality of family life in an era of rapid change. The transition to the Melanie storyline in the latter part of the script feels organic as the lessons about honesty, communication, and the cost of good intentions carry forward. This confrontation serves as both climax to the poetry plot and foundation for the deeper explorations of friendship and teenage loneliness to come.